Welcome back. Well, the Quebec government is planning on spending billions of dollars on refurbishing G-2, but the investment into nuclear energy is creating a lot of controversy. Here to discuss some of the issues is Dr. Gordon Edwards of the Canadian Coalition for Nuclear Responsibility. I guess first off, let me ask you, what do you think of this announcement?
Well, I think it's sad that they feel they have to be so secretive about it, that they can't sort of lay all the cards on the table and have a public debate, have a debate in the National Assembly. Listen to what Quebecers feel about this. Because, you know, it's not just another generating plant. It's something which produces toxic waste, which remain dangerous for our great-great-grandchildren. And therefore, it should be a societal decision. Now, that's not me talking. That's the Bureau des Audiences Publiques sur l'Environnement, the BAP, that issued a report in 2006, and they recommended to the government not to go ahead with this until they had societal agreement and until they had definite plans for the long-term management of the radioactive waste, which are going to be the result of the refurbishment.
So what should be done instead?
Well, there are different things that could be done. First of all, $2 billion. Wow. If you invested $2 billion in energy efficiency in Quebec, you would create 3 times as many jobs, and you would save more energy than this plant will ever be able to produce.
Let's just go. Sorry to interrupt you, but what types of energy efficient things would you invest in?
Basically, over 50% of our energy goes into low temperature heat, which is hot water heating and space heating. Now, nuclear power contributes only 2.5% of our electricity here in Quebec. 50% versus 2.5%, if you just shave a couple of percentage points off the heating load by energy efficiency measures, retrofitting, you're going to achieve far more in terms of energy efficiency. You're going to save more energy than this plant will ever produce.
So could you help people say, look, if you do this, you'll save energy? Like what?
Yeah. Well, for example, there was a school complex near Trois-Rivières. Good example. They invested I think about $2 million, and they saved 35% of their energy use just by retrofitting. Now, that small investment created a huge return in terms of energy savings. Multiply that all over the province, and you have jobs galore, and you also have really created what is called negawatt energy. That's energy, the cheapest energy is the energy you don't waste. Now, getting back to Trois-Rivières, there are jobs aplenty that could be found there simply by dismantling the radioactive structures that are already there that are owned by the federal government. The federal government built a reactor which never worked properly. It's called G-2. It's sitting right there, and the federal government has a responsibility to pay for the dismantling of this. There's your 800 jobs, and it doesn't have to come out of Hydro-Quebec's pocket. It doesn't have to come out of Quebec taxpayers' pocket. It's a federal responsibility.
The people in the region, though, would say there are 800 jobs created by this, but also a spin-off from it as well.
This has an even better spin-off.
Okay.
Because if you dismantle this reactor, there are hundreds of reactors around the world that require dismantling, and nobody has ever done it on a large scale. So if Quebec can develop the expertise in dismantling at $1 billion a pop, there's a huge market around the world for this technology. There's actually greater opportunities in terms of dismantling radioactive structures than there is in building new nuclear reactors.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate hearing your side.
No problem.
It was a busy day today at Sun Youth.